Okay, so today is day 8 in our class. We're starting a new topic, creating and solving equations. Basically, in math, you need to be able to read stories or like examples and be able to change the words that you read or the story into like a math problem. And that's kind of hard. We're going to take a couple days to do that, and it'll be something that we do as an ongoing process. Okay, so here's your objective. Let's all read the objective out loud. I can and apply them to solve problems. Okay, good. So that's what we're looking at today. That's your standard. This is hard, but that's what we started talking about math words. Remember the math words, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, learning all the properties and such. So it's going to take some time. So here's your first assignment with your group. Match each mathematical sentence on the left with its translation on the right. Make sure your team is in agreement with each answer before moving on. So let's have you work quietly first. I'm going to give you 3 to 4 minutes to work quietly to take some guesses or some educated guesses on which ones they are. Take a chance. This is silent work. There's 4 examples. So on the right, it says a zoo has 2 fewer elephants than zebras and 5 times more monkeys than elephants. The total number of elephants, monkeys, and zebras is 30. So you have to think about that scenario. Which of these would you pick, okay? This is by yourself work right now. Actually, I'll give you 2 or 3 minutes, okay? And then we're going to come back together, and then you're going to talk with your group for about 5 to 6 minutes just to make sure you have the right answers. And then we'll talk together, okay? So right now, 2 to 3 minutes. You could do this in your notebook. You don't have to write these down. I just want you to write the letters down on how they match. Okay? Go. Okay, so we're trying to figure out if it's 12 times z. Yes, that is correct. 12 times z. So what does z represent then here, everyone? What about the zinc? Good. How many ounces is zinc? Excellent, okay. Excellent. So, if you put in, for this one, if you put, what was our letter? D. Okay, and the last one is? B. B, okay. But let's just say this was the only, we didn't know of any of the other ones. How do you know it's B? What are the clues for B? Someone else who has not gone. How do you know it's B? If you didn't know that it was like the last problem or the last example. How do you know it's B? How do you know it's B? Let's see, I'm going to go to Bernadine. How do you know it's B? Or What's that?
Per hour.
Okay, so Eddie, who earns $5 per hour, worked 2 hours longer than Zach, who earns $12 per hour. Together they earn 30. So how do you know it's B? Okay, so $12, right? 12. So Eddie works, and he gets $12 per hour, right? Zach worked 2 hours longer. Zach earned $12 per hour. Eddie had to work 2 hours longer than Zach, but got $5 an hour. Y'all see? Together they earned how much? 30. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, good. So the next thing then that I'd like you to think about then, if we know that the answers are C, A, D, B, okay, let's read this section on the bottom left. I'll read it out loud, you follow. Mathematical sentences like those in the left column of problem 631 are easier to understand when everyone knows what the variables represent. A statement that describes what the variable represents is called a let statement. So we need to know let statements in math, okay? You have to be able to do that. That's why I was having you talk about the let statements in your groups. For example, for mathematical sentences, a sentence A above, so A above, we could say that we know that A was for number 2. So if it said number 2 is Zola earned $30 by working 2 hours and receiving a $12 bonus, we could say this. For number 2, we could say let Z equal Zola's rate of pay in dollars per hour. Okay, so notice what there is. It says let Z. We start with that equals, and then we have to say what it equals, Zola's rate of pay, and then the unit, dollars per hour. Note that a let statement always indicates the units of measurement. Okay? So I want you to create, we just created one for you. I want you to create let statements for the other letters for B, C, and D with your group, okay? So I'm going to give you about 4 minutes. I want to see 4 let statements, including the one that we just gave you here. And we're going to come back together in about 4 minutes, okay? Ready, set, go, talk. Okay, so again, you've had a few minutes to talk about this. We know what the first let statement is, so just to help you out, we're going to make 4 of them. So on this first one, Z, it's already given to us, and I'll write it again in your notebook. You should put let Z equal Zola's what was it? Zola's what?
Rate of pay.
Rate of pay in dollars. And I'm going to put dollars per hour, okay? Next one, B. B, let's go to a group that's not gone yet. Charles, what is B?
B is, let's see, per hour of work.
Whose hour of work? Eddie's or Zach? What do y'all think? Here's the original problem. Shh. We got B. Look at number 4. Eddie, who earns $5 per hour, worked 2 hours longer than Zach, who earns $12 per hour. Together they earn $30. Okay, so what is Z equal to? Whose rate of pay? Who? What do y'all think? Eddie or Zach? Who earns the $12 per hour? Zach does, right? So who's earning $12 here? So what is Z equal to? Whose hourly rate or whose number of hours? Yes, Zach's. Let Z equal to the number of hours. Let's put number of hours Zach worked. Okay? C, what is Z equal to in C? This was the first example. Let's see. John, what is C? What is Z equal to in letter C? What does Z equal to in this letter here in Z? Or in this example? Let me go back to the example, to the story. Shh. What is Z equal to? Let's look at letter C. That was for the zoo problem right here. Okay? For the what? So tell me a Z statement from the beginning. Tell me what starts saying let Z. Start with let Z. No. How about the number of zebras? There you go. Right? Because you don't want to just say zebra. Zebra's what? Zebra stripes? Is that what we're talking about? We have to be specific. Okay, D. What is D equal to here on this last one? Eva, what is, on letter D, what is Z equal to? Ounces of zinc. So tell me a let statement. Let Z equal, start with that. Good. There you go. Okay, so it's important that we're able to recognize these. Alright, because we need to calculate them. But you need to be able to take a problem and take its context and make an equation. You need to be able to figure out what the variables and use let statements, okay? This is kind of hard, right? We only did like 4 problems, and that was really hard. We didn't even solve them yet. Okay, was it easy for some of you? Raise your hand if you felt like this was pretty easy. Okay, raise your hand if it was kind of a little bit more challenging. Okay, that's okay. That's why we're doing this. Challenge is okay. All right, so we're done with that lesson.